From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Breaking news from the White House this morning. President Trump and the First Lady test positive for the coronavirus this morning. Who else in the president's circle has tested positive for the virus? Plus, a driver in Shelby County leads police on a chase across state lines. Now at 4:30, where officers have finally got the driver stopped.
I guess he thinks I'm going to go away, but I'm not going to go away.
A state commission is taking action against an Indianapolis plumber exposed by WRTV Investigates. We're working for you with what this means for customers and how you can protect yourself. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on Good Morning Indiana. Happy Friday. Lauren and Todd have the morning off, so that means I'm here with meteorologist Kyle Mounts. And Kyle, stepping outside this morning, it's a little chilly on this Friday.
It is. Gotta say, grab the jacket, and I did turn the heat on in the car. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to. We got temperatures that are in the lower 40s, but certainly some pockets out there where we've got some upper 30s around the Crawfordsville area. Certainly not out of the question this morning. It's 41 right now in the city, 43 for you in the Bloomington, Muncie areas, and right at 40 degrees in Lafayette. Satellite radar, things are very quiet. Most of the area dealing with some clear skies this morning. Now, we have had a couple of very light showers coming off of Lake Michigan. You can see, though, that those have faded away after producing just a little bit of light rain in the Peru area. So we'll have some morning sunshine. Clouds will build in again this afternoon, but it should stay dry. Less of a breeze out there as well. A high temperature of 60 tonight with partly cloudy skies. We're back into the lower 40s.
Kyle, thank you. The on-ramp from Allisonville Road to westbound I-465 is closed this morning. Crews are working to repair a utility pole damaged in that deadly accident involving a semi-truck driver early yesterday morning. IPL says the ramp could be closed for up to 4 days. Let's take another live look at our INDOT traffic cameras this morning. This is I-465 at Man Road. We aren't monitoring any crashes so far this morning. We are following breaking news from the White House this morning. President Trump and First Lady Melania have tested positive for the coronavirus. The president tweeted the news around 1 o'clock this morning saying, quote, "The First Lady and I have tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together." The president and First Lady are both reported to be doing well this morning. The president's staff says he expects to continue to carry out his duties while recovering. The president's positive test results come just hours after Hope Hicks, one of his closest aides, reported testing positive for the virus. Hicks has traveled multiple times with the president recently, including to the debate in Cleveland on Tuesday. Now let's take a look at the latest numbers on the virus and how it's impacting Hoosiers here in our state. This morning, state health officials report more than 1,171 new coronavirus cases. Since the pandemic began, more than 121,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Health officials also report 13 new coronavirus deaths. Since March, more than 3,400 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Now we want to take a look at how the virus is impacting Hendricks County. The county west of Indianapolis has reported more than 2,800 cases of coronavirus. 16 of those were reported on Thursday. Hendricks County currently has a positivity rate just shy of 3%. Bars, restaurants, and entertainment venues in Marion County can start applying for HELP grants on October 15th. That stands for Hospitality Establishment Lifeline Payment. Eligible businesses can be reimbursed up to $25,000 for rent or mortgage costs from April to December of this year. On Thursday, Mayor Joe Hogsett announced a separate $1 million fund to help businesses get through the winter.
Outdoor seating continues to be the safest route for restaurants, bars, and venues. We want to help establishments in Marion County make any adjustments they can to keep this practice going. Grants of up to $2,500 can be used to cover the cost for outdoor heaters, canopies, tables, and chairs, or frankly, other PPE.
The application process goes through November 6th. Eligibility requirements and more details can be found at response.indychamber.com/helpgrants. New this morning, a high-speed police chase beginning in Shelby County ends across state lines. The chase lasted nearly 80 miles into Cincinnati, Ohio. Police say the chase finally ended when the driver got stuck in a cul-de-sac. 3 police vehicles were also sideswiped in the chase. No police officers were injured, and the driver now faces charges in multiple counties. This morning, there's no word on why the driver ran from officers. The State Plumbing Commission is taking action against an Indianapolis plumber accused of taking customers' money and not doing the work promised. WRTV Investigates has been following accusations against Jonathan Kirby for more than a year. The commission met online and heard from 2 more of Kirby's former customers. They say they paid him to do work at their home, but he didn't finish the job or provide a refund. The Attorney General's office filed a formal complaint in April accusing Kirby of fraud, material deception, and misconduct. The state is asking the commission to discipline Kirby and get restitution for consumers. Lenise Gordon paid Jonathan Kirby $942 for a job, but says he never showed up.
Excuse after excuse after excuse till I finally got to the point that let's cancel it. I want my money back.
We emailed Kirby, who told us, quote, "I just looked in my email and I said I did miss the meeting today. I am attempting to gain employment as I write this to be able to pay people back, ma'am." Because he didn't show, the Plumbing Commission voted to issue Kirby a notice of proposed default. That means he has a week to provide a written response to the commission. If he doesn't, they can proceed without Kirby's participation. Their next meeting is December 2nd. 2 of the biggest names in college basketball are heading to Indianapolis for a huge matchup. The teams will travel a combined 3,000 miles to get here. Gonzaga and Baylor are set to play at Bankers Life Fieldhouse on December 5th. No fans will be allowed in the stands, and organizers will work with the Marion County Health Department to put COVID-19 protocols in place. There are still many questions surrounding the upcoming college basketball season. Tickets go on sale this morning for the Colts' next home game at Lucas Oil Stadium. On Thursday, the team announced up to 12,500 fans will be allowed in the stadium for the October 18th matchup against the Bengals. Tickets start at $48. And if this is your first game that you are attending this, and be prepared to wear a mask and sit in a pod arrangement. That means if you bought tickets with a group of people, you will sit together, but you will be socially distanced in the stands from other groups. Temperature checks will be taken at the gate. Tickets are mobile only, and only cashless transactions will be allowed at concession stands and gift shops. Despite recent rain, much of the Hoosier state is still experiencing drought conditions. Here's a look now at the latest drought conditions. It shows much of the state is abnormally dry, and portions of northeast Indiana and west central Indiana are in a moderate drought. Nearly a dozen counties have issued burn bans because of the dry conditions. The fight against coronavirus continues this morning, but so does the ongoing battle against opioid addiction. Still ahead, why health experts say the pandemic is only adding fuel to that fight. Kyle.
And the kids not going to need the umbrella at the bus stop this morning, but you might want to send that jacket along. Temperatures running cool here. We're around 40 degrees, mostly clear skies, and as they're heading home, we'll only top out around 60. That's about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. You're watching Good Morning Indiana here on WRTV. It is 4:38. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We want to say a good morning to everyone up in the Fishers area. Here's a live look this morning at I-69 at 106th Street, and we do want to alert you to a construction project not too far from this camera view. 96th Street is closed from Sargent Road to Cumberland Road for a bridge replacement project that is expected to last through at least next month. Early indications show the COVID pandemic is adding fuel to the ongoing fight against opioid abuse. Lindsay Thies from our partners at Newsy explains.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to claim American lives, experts warn the opioid epidemic is surging too.
COVID-19 is here. It will be here for some time. But in a year or two, it's the opioid use disorder epidemic that'll still be with us.
The early days of COVID left many opioid addiction patients facing closed treatment centers, cancellation of in-person recovery meetings, or difficulty accessing opioid use disorder medications. In 2019, pre-pandemic death rates grew by 4.9% to over 71,000 deaths, with illicitly manufactured fentanyl continuing to drive the increase. The American Medical Association says at least 30 states have reported overdose deaths rising in 2020. And a recent analysis of 500,000 drug tests showed a 32% increase for non-prescribed fentanyl from mid-March through May. Suspected drug overdoses climbed 18% in that same period.
We also saw increasing rates of opioid overdose in communities of color. So this all paints a picture that we have an ongoing public health challenge here.
Dr. Anand Parekh is the chief medical advisor for the Bipartisan Policy Center, which just released a report showing how federal and state governments are funding the fight against opioids. Pre-pandemic, Parekh's study found 60 individual federal funding streams totaling $7.6 billion going towards activities like prevention, treatment, and recovery. But COVID-19 closures and distancing has led to treatment limitations and access to naloxone. That's the emergency drug used to treat overdose patients. In July, the FDA approved requiring manufacturers of opioid pain and opioid use disorder medicines to update their packaging inserts to include naloxone recommendations. These changes officially take effect in early 2021.
It's not enough. The data suggests that still a minority of individuals with opioid use disorder are getting access to the gold standard medication-assisted treatment they need to really combat their addiction.
Lindsay Thies, Newsy, Denver.
Lindsay, thank you. As the election gets closer, voting-related lawsuits are piling up across the country. Most cases concern the fundamentals of the voting process, with the coronavirus creating obstacles. In Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, people are fighting over the cutoff date for counting mail-in ballots. Lawsuits in North Carolina raise concerns over witness signature requirements. Ohio is dealing with court challenges for ballot drop boxes, and Texas over extra days for early voting. A former Justice Department elections official has tallied 260 lawsuits arising from the coronavirus nationwide. This morning in Arizona, a man who says he was sexually abused by an Indiana priest more than 40 years ago is suing church officials in both states. In the suit filed Thursday, the plaintiff says the priest was allowed into a Navajo Nation school despite his predatory history. The Diocese of Phoenix, the Diocese of Lafayette, Indiana, and the priest are all named as defendants in the lawsuit. The plaintiff, who is Navajo, is seeking unspecified damages for pain, suffering, and other costs. He says he was 14 when he met the priest in the late 70s in Chinle, Arizona. This morning, wildfires in California continue to burn with little to no containment. The glass fire burning in Napa County has burned more than 58,000 acres. More than 68,000 residents have been forced out of their homes. While touring the damage on Tuesday, California Governor Gavin Newsom promised to find a long-term solution to California's wildfire problem. The glass fire has burned hundreds of structures and is 5% contained this morning. Firefighters say strong winds are making the fire tough to fight. Now to your forecast here at home. Walking out the door, Kyle, this morning, you're going to want to grab that jacket.
Yeah, you're going to need a layer or two this morning here, and you're probably going to want to keep that handy throughout the day. Temperatures are not going to warm a whole lot for us. We've got those mainly clear skies, a quiet start to the day here across central Indiana, with temperatures generally running here in the lower 40s. 41 downtown in Kokomo. You got 42 in Shelbyville, Bloomington, and Muncie at 43 degrees this morning. Now there is a light wind out there out of the west and northwest. I don't expect things to be as breezy today as what we've had the last couple of days. For the most part, we're talking about under 10 miles per hour. Your forecast for today does show some sunshine to get things started. Temperatures that are in the middle 40s here at 9 a.m. We'll get back into the lower 50s by 11 o'clock, and your lunchtime temperature not too bad, but still cool at 56 with mostly sunny skies. As we head into the afternoon, I think we will see a building of the cloud cover once once again, and that will level off those temperatures right around 60 for us, but I don't think we're going to have to deal with any of the wet weather like we had yesterday afternoon, and a lot of those popcorn showers that developed. Even had a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. Today, though, TrueCast showing just some cloud cover as we get to 6 o'clock this evening, and we may keep some of that cloud cover going here into the overnight and Saturday morning. That would also keep most areas in the 40s, upper 30s tomorrow morning, so that would really preclude a lot in the way of some frost development. Still could have some patchy areas out there, especially if we clear out those skies. 38 for you in Peru, 39 in Muncie, and we'll call for a low pretty similar to this morning in the city at 42 and 40 for you in the Lafayette area. Weekend forecast, Saturday is going to be our pick of the weekend here as we get back into the lower 60s. Still a good deal of cloud cover is going to be out there, but a dry day. We get into Sunday, that's where the rain showers come back into the forecast, and that's going to keep us a little bit cooler. A high temperature only at 56. Last time we had a high in the 50s was in May, right around the 20th of the month. So it's been a little while here. We're not expecting a lot of rain, though. Models generally coming in about 1/4 of an inch of rainfall here going into our Sunday. Put it all together for you now in that 7-day planning forecast. There are the showers on Sunday. After that, though, things are actually starting to warm up a little bit. We get back to the lower 60s Monday, close to 70 by Tuesday afternoon, and into the lower 70s. Should feel pretty good by Wednesday, all with some dry weather to come.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Good morning to everyone waking up with us on the south side. Here's a live look at I-65 at Keystone Avenue, where work on a bridge replacement project continues. Lane restrictions remain in place in this area until at least December 16th, but so far this morning, no slowdowns to report. And good morning to everyone in Greenwood. Traffic in this area is moving without any delays at this hour, but we do want to alert you to a construction project just north of this location. The on-ramp from Southport Road to northbound I-65 is closed for construction. That will last until December 1st. However, you can get onto I-65 northbound from here at County Line Road or Stop 11. Drinking coffee before breakfast after a bad night's sleep could be bad for your health. That's according to a new study. Researchers studied the combined impacts of broken sleep and morning coffee. Specifically, they were looking at the effect on a person's metabolism. Their findings suggest drinking strong black coffee after disrupted sleep has a negative impact on blood sugar control. The takeaway was that if you don't sleep well, you should drink coffee after breakfast, not before. This morning, we continue to wait for a coronavirus vaccine in order for life to get back to normal. But before any COVID-19 vaccine gets approved, it has to go before a little-known group of experts. The Data and Safety Monitoring Board sees the vaccine data before anyone else. They are the ones that can advise companies to apply for FDA review or bring a trial to a halt. The DSMB made the call on the AstraZeneca trial when a woman developed a neurological condition in the UK. The members of the board go through an exhaustive vetting process to make sure they are not conflicted in any way. Cars are back on the track at IMS for this weekend's Harvest GP. Coming up, how teams are preparing for the historic event. This weekend will be historic at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is the first time a major auto race has been held at the track in October. Brad Brown recaps how IndyCar teams are preparing for the first race later today.
A brisk day at the Speedway did not deter more than 1,000 fans from being the first to return to IMS this year. Scattered around several sections of the Oval's Turn 1 grandstands, a great view of the last 4 turns of the Speedway road course. What they saw during the afternoon practice session was rookie Alex Palou leading the field to a fast lap. The 23-year-old Spaniard struggled during July's Grand Prix, but admitted that time has been on his side this summer.
When we came here the first time, I didn't know the track, so now I knew where to go. To be honest, the car is much better. I'm more comfortable. We got more races in, but we're still trying to improve every time.
Qualifying got rolling as the sun was setting behind the Georgetown Road grandstands. That created quite a challenge on the back end of the road course. Graham Rahal, among many drivers, adding a tint to their helmet to deal with the glare. Another rookie would take the top spot on the grid. 20-year-old Rinus VK, driving for Ed Carpenter Racing, went to the fastest lap of the day. The late qualifying group was much quicker as the sun went down and the track cooled. VK rocketed to a second-row start in the Indy 500. He'll lead the field to green for the first time in his IndyCar career on Friday.
Well, I know Ed Carpenter Racing gives me a great car here in Indianapolis at their home race. And I like Indy. It's nice to finally get all its hard work rewarded. And yeah, first pole was definitely a big goal to end the season with, at least. So I'm happy that I finally have it now.
Joseph Newgarden will join VK on the front row. Big for Newgarden, who is trying to catch up to Scott Dixon in the points championship. Dixon will start in row 6. Here's the rest of the front half of Friday's starting grid. Palou qualified 17th after the quick time in practice. We'll see who can put together the right lines to bring home the trophy on Friday afternoon. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
All right, Brad, and as we look at that forecast heading off to IMS today, we've got some sunshine. Noon, though, it is still only going to be in the 50s, so you may want to take the jacket along with you. Temperatures will get around 60 degrees here by 3 o'clock, and then we'll continue to increase the clouds from there. But it will be a dry day. Our high temperature right around 60 degrees, average high in the lower 70s, though. We're cool now, but there is a warming trend as we look ahead to next week. We're going to detail that coming up in your 7-day planning forecast. It is 4:57 here on your finally Friday morning. Stay with us. The Rafael Sanchez will be joining us when we come back at 5 a.m. here on Good Morning Indiana.